we'll start with questions.
Devon, it started a little slow, and you guys were getting a lot of production. It just kind of wasn't coming together. What kind of do you think happened in that first half, especially?
Yeah, just finishing drives, capitalizing on third downs. We'll obviously fix that in the second half. The bigger story for the first half is definitely defense. They held them down to 6 points the whole game. So I'm glad, we have both sides of the ball.
Devon, NaQuari, what was the message in halftime just to kind of turn around the game and score some points?
I'd say kind of capitalizing off of, the defense positives. We was just, how can I say, we would drive down the field and we wasn't executing the red zone like how we was in the previous week. So I'd say just, how can I say, we were just capitalizing as far as off of defensive positives,
John, you had a pretty big first half. Just what kind of groove do you feel like you're in, or do you just feel like this is who you've always been?
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely getting more comfortable out there. We got amazing guys at every position on defense, so we got so many great players surrounding me. You definitely want to go out there and do some great things, and that's what motivates me.
Devon, take me through the play where you fumbled, picked it up, and then threw a touchdown.
I was looking for a receiver. It kind of just slipped out. I trust my O-line that they're holding up, and they were. So I was able to pick the ball up without having to dive on it. And, I just seen Larry in the back of the end zone, and he got wide open for me.
Devon, you played this team last year and came up with the loss, but this year, the defense, with the way that they're playing, like how motivating is that for them to see them make plays on that side of the ball and then to come out and try to put something together on offense?
Yeah, it's huge. Again, last year it was more of a shootout kind of game. The fact that we were able to make, our struggles on offense, and just to know that there's a defense that's going to play hard. And even in the locker room, halftime, they told us, we got y'all back. Y'all going to get it clicking. Just to hear the positive feedback from them and the way they finished the game, huge kudos to them.
2 weeks in a row now, there's been a fair amount of penalties. What can you guys do to kind of limit those?
Yeah, I thought our boys was playing hard. So maybe some of those calls were a little biased, but that's just being smarter on the field. If you think we're gonna get a block in the back or something, just throwing the hands up, just use your body to make that block. Just small details like that, but we'll get it figured out.
Henry, what is it about the defense that you guys seem to take it personally when they get a first down or across midfield? What is it about the defense that makes it so stingy?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that love to compete, that have that kind of personality that we want to go out there and show everybody what we're able to do every single Saturday. And so whenever somebody makes a play on us, we feel like we need to respond in a like manner. And so when you got that many people, 11 guys on one side of the ball who are just fired up and ready to show everybody what we're capable of week in, week out, then it becomes something where, we want to make sure people know that we can dominate in the trenches and also on the back end as well.
Gary, you guys rushed 311 yards today. What does that say about just your overall attack, where each of you were able to do something different?
Right. We all rushed. Anybody who had got the ball, it was 5 yards apart, didn't matter who it was. And shout out to the O-line, man. We wouldn't do it without them. So,
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of unforced errors. There was the turnover at the 7-yard line that happened in the first half. Just what do you feel like you guys did at halftime to kind of adjust from that? Was it just a discipline thing? Walk me through that.
Yeah, again, just third down percentage. We've been good at that all year, and as you see, as we came out in halftime, when we're able to convert on third downs, we keep the ball moving. So that was a big emphasis to, make sure we're finishing drives, not just, those first two plays. We're able to recover off of our holding calls a lot better from our second half as well. But yeah, just adversity. I'm glad we had it earlier than later for sure. I wanted to see what our offense is built of, and for us to not have that touchdown and to be able to come out halftime and go 100%. Awesome to see.
How good does it feel for you guys to transfer from New Mexico to get this win after last year? What happened against Wyoming? I know it's a new team and everything.
Yeah.
But you guys probably remember that.
Yeah, no, I lost it in my freshman year too, so it was definitely one of those where I was like, okay, I gotta get a win against them at some point. And yeah, again, the huge emphasis was defense shut them boys out today. So I was glad to have a defense going against them.
Dev, what would you credit as that led to the big difference in terms of your execution in the second half?
Yeah, if third downs again. Third downs is what keeps moving the ball. We had ourselves in third and short in the first half. We weren't getting them. I think a mindset change, especially for the offense. every third down we held it up. I talked to those boys, let's get this third down, and we got it every time. So I think it's just the mentality that we came out with, and when things start clicking for us, we obviously capitalize on it.
Devin, I'm not mistaken. I think I saw you go up to Nate after his fumble. What did you kind of say? Like, how do you kind of help somebody like that work through that?
Yeah, Nate used to play quarterback, and I told him, quarterback is a very leadership position, and you've been in that situation before. Bad things happen all the time. I mean, it's football. It's not gonna always go your way. So just get in his head, tell him, get up. Don't show that to the crowd. Don't show that to our players. People are looking at you right now. You know what I mean? So carry yourself high. Carry yourself with confidence. One play doesn't define you.
Time for one more. Dev, Kyle came into this game saying he wanted to see more explosive plays on offense. Do you feel like that led to, I guess, not pushing on offense, but just kind of, was it hard for you guys to settle in a bit just because you wanted to find explosive plays down the field and all that?
Yeah, I think we were just playing football, to be completely honest. I think we had plays where big plays could have possibly happened, but we definitely didn't play to not convert, not try to score the football. Shout out to defense again. Can't say it enough.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, kind of a weird game, I'll tell you that. I mean, we had very similar yardage, total low first half and second half, but very different results. Just weren't finishing drives in the first half. And I'll tell you what, I got a lot of respect for that Wyoming team. They're tough players, well coached, and they gave us everything they had. And so, like I said, hats off to them, and really think that they got a bright future. Second half, like I said, 4 drives, 4 touchdowns. And, in the first half, we found a way to bog down. We hit a field goal early, then we missed a couple, and then had to punt once or twice. So it was, we just couldn't finish. And so that was really the difference between the halves. Defense, conversely, was good the entire game. Thought they played well. Got a little soft against the run there towards the end, but did a nice job. Came away with, we have 2 takeaways. We had the strip sack and the interception. So a couple takeaways, almost scored on the Jackson Benny pick. Way too many penalties. That's a big negative for us, as we got to play cleaner apparently, and we just had, that's not like us to have that many penalties and that much penalty yardage. So we got to do a better job with that. I thought Devon played really well. Haven't looked at his numbers yet, but he's a playmaker, and again, did not throw an interception, didn't turn it over, did a nice job distributing the ball. Ryan Davis had to be our leading receiver, catch-wise. I don't know how many he had, but probably double digits. And so, anyway, what questions you have?
How difficult is it when you get that many penalties and sometimes you may not think that they're penalties? How do you coach that with your team?
Yeah, as I watched the replays, some of them were legit, some of them I was just not sure about, but I just know that they were called, and so we've got to be better. And I never complain about referees or anything like that. We just got to be better, and that really was another reason why we were unable to finish drives in the first half. Is I think we had 70 of the 95 penalty yards in the first half, and that doesn't usually yield very good results.
What was your message to the team there in the locker room?
Finish drives, very simple. Defense, we were playing well, like I said, tackling well, defending the rush well. I think we only had like 20 or 30 yards of rushing at halftime, and the whole issue was finishing drives on offense. And fortunately, we got that corrected, and O-line did a really good job in that second half. Took charge and really controlled the line of scrimmage.
Kyle, Devin said that obviously finishing drives, but finishing third downs and converting those in the first half was kind of the issue. Were you guys able to pinpoint something at halftime that was going wrong on those third downs that you switched on?
Not really. No, not really. Just weren't executing as well as we needed to, and we had been really good on third down the first 2 games, but and I think probably our final numbers tonight weren't bad, third down wise, but no, nothing that was a major adjustment of any sort.
Coach, how important is it for Devon to execute on schedule? It seemed like that was a difference in the second half.
Yeah, that's very important. That's important for anybody. I mean, you get behind the chains, and it's tough to overcome that. But But when we can be productive on first and second down and set up manageable third downs, that's ideal. And you're exactly right. That's what we did in that second half.
Kyle, you had 3 missed field goals today. Was there anything
Yeah.
in particular with Dylan that kind of led to that?
Not that I'll have to talk to him. The one that came out really funky was, I think the hold was not clean. But he's got a strong leg. You saw what he does for us on kickoffs, and he'll be back. He's just a freshman, and he'll learn from this. And I think he's tough enough mentally to get himself right, and hopefully he makes some big kicks for us down the road.
Kyle, you walked into this week saying you wanted more explosive plays from the offense. You had 311 rushing yards. How do you, I guess, balance, your rushing attack with such a good offensive line that you have, but also trying to get the passing game going and finding receivers to kind of get consistency?
You want to be balanced. That's the operative word, and I think we've been pretty balanced through 3 weeks. Maybe a little run heavy, but you got an offensive line that controls the line of scrimmage. It's harder to screw up the run game than it is the pass game. I'll tell you that. So and we got 2 good running backs. Well, actually more than that. Wayshawn and Knock are the lead guys, but you saw what Hunter can do, and then Smith Snowden adds his, and Nate Johnson had a really nice run. Unfortunately, he got stripped at the end of it, but yeah, we're trying to be balanced and keep them guessing, and a lot of it has to do with how they're playing us. If they're playing us with a too high safety look, it's going to be more run heavy, and vice versa if it's a single high.
Coach, it seems like Dallin Bentley is emerging as a go-to weapon for Dampier. What has his presence meant to the passing game and the offense in general?
Yeah, he's been big, and he's. I saw it coming. We saw it coming in spring ball. The light switch went on for Dallin in spring ball, and he was finally able to stay healthy. That's what had hampered him the last couple of years, is he kept having nagging injuries, and he's been healthy, knock on wood, and carried a really good spring right into fall camp, and has been just consistent and steady and dependable. And not only with his pass catching, his blocking has been much improved. So he's a valuable weapon for us.
Kyle, you had that 19-play drive where Devon finished it with the fumble, touchdown.
Yeah.
Just
Was that 19 plays?
Yeah.
Wow.
with
Okay.
with that kind of drive, there's a lot of adversity in that drive. What does that say about your team that you were able to overcome that, especially that 3rd and 21 that got to Daley?
Yeah, well, it says just that we were able to handle adversity, and you're going to have adversity in Division I football every week, some way, shape, or form. You're going to have adversity, and you better be good at handling it if you want to be a team that has a chance to be a championship team. And so I was proud of the way they did that. And that was a heck of a play by Devon to keep the play alive, picking up that one ball and finding I think it was Larry. Was it Larry in the end zone? Yeah, Simmons. And I didn't realize it was 19 plays. That's our second drive of that length, I guess, this year. So that'll wear our defense out too. That's a good way
These
to
first
win.
3 opponents, how do you get ready for Texas Tech?
Yeah,
Seems
it.
like the level may rise quite a bit.
Sure will, and we got to be up for the occasion. It's at our place, and our fans will be there in full force, and the Muss and the band, and it'll be a great environment for us. Kickoff time doesn't bother us a bit. 10 o'clock, that's no problem at all. And so, but you're right, the degree of difficulty is getting higher, and that's what you'd expect. And we're excited about the challenge.
Coach, any update on Rabbit Evans?
Yeah, doesn't look good. It's a lower leg injury that looks like it could be season ending. So that's unfortunate. That kid, I feel so bad for him. He's worked so hard and just can't seem to get a break. And it's like I said, it's something pretty serious. And I don't know. We'll have to look at what his redshirt situation is, and hopefully we get him back for another year, maybe 2 years. Depending on what the circumstances are.
John Henry Daley had a big game tonight. How impactful was he, especially in that first half?
Yeah, he's been our most reliable, consistent pass rusher through the first 3 games. I think he's leading our team in sacks. If not, he's right up there. He was the guy that had the strip sack. He's a tough kid. He just keeps coming at you. He's a throwback guy. He's old school. He's just just a grinder. Remember Hunter Dimmick played for us? That's exactly who he reminds me of. Is Hunter Dimmick. Yeah.
Kyle, what was your reaction on the fumble? Obviously, you picked it up and then lasered it to Larry Simmons. What was your reaction?
My reaction was I was happy. Yeah, I was very happy. And I thought, because the ball's on the ground, and credit him. A lot of quarterbacks would have just gone and dove on it. But he has the presence of mind and the just that it factor where he just, hey, let's keep this thing alive and make something out of it. And so he's, it takes a rare guy to be able to do that.
You guys are near the top
Last
of
one.
this year in
Nice cowboy hat. Did you buy that here?
No.
Oh, you brought it with you? Okay.
You guys have been top of the country in third downs. Probably will remain close to that after 9 and 15, I think, today.
Both sides you talking, or you talking offense?
Offense.
Yeah, because I think we're up there on
Can
D
you
too.
give us a little insight on Devon's composure, but also maybe the play calling, how you felt third downs?
Well, I think it goes back to what we talked about a minute ago with first and second down being productive and having third downs that are manageable. If you get a bunch of 3rd and 10 plus, you're gonna have a hard time, having a high conversion rate. And so, if you can stay on schedule, not get behind the chains, and get those. And Jason is has proven to be a very masterful third down play caller so far. I mean, he seems to have the right call to just get what we need for the conversion. And so, between Jason's play calling, being productive on first and second down, and Devon Dampier, just him being him, I think that's the formula for us.